Hey everybody, we are fixing to get started making our macaroni and cheese. We are going to need a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups of shredded cheese. I'm using Colby Monterey Jack because that's what I like, that's what I have. And we're going to need 4 tablespoons of margarine or butter, 3 tablespoons of flour, 1 cup of pasta noodles. You can use macaroni noodles. I'm using my favorite rotini. We're going to use a half a cup of sour cream, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and I'm going to say between a cup and a half and 2 cups of milk. And let's get started making this meal. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my water. I've got just enough water in here to cover my noodles once I put them in. First thing I'm going to do is bring this to a boil, and we'll let those noodles boil for 9 minutes. Then we'll take them out of the pan and put them in the colander to drain while we prepare the rest in the same pot. Yay, we don't have to mess up a bunch of dishes. All right, we'll see you in just a minute. Okay, we've got our butter melting here. Turn that heat up just a bit until we get it nice and good and melted. Oh, you know what? I've got that air conditioner on. Let me turn that off. I bet you can hear me a lot better if it's off. Okay, so now there's our melted butter. We've got 4 tablespoons in there. I'm going to start out by adding 3 tablespoons of flour because I have a tendency to make my roux too thick. So we're going to try making it a little light. And I'm not leveling these tablespoons either, so there we go. Maybe that will work out better this time. Alright, so now we just want to give it a quick little stir, and we're going to let that flour cook because we don't want that raw flour taste in there. So we're just going to let it cook for just a little bit. I am going to add some salt and some pepper to it. Salt. And I'm just using the ground pepper. There we go. And like I said, we're just going to let that cook just a little because we don't want it to be raw flour tasting when we put it in our casserole, in our macaroni and cheese. And I'm not going to quit stirring. And even though this is a non-stick pan, it probably wouldn't hurt it. I just have always stirred it the whole time it was in the pan. That's the way I've always done it. And once this gets just a little more done, we're going to start adding our milk to the roux, at which point it will become one of the French mother sauces. And I'm trying to remember which one it is. Is it a bechamel? I think it's a bechamel. That should be pretty good. Get it all off the sides. We're going to start adding our milk. We're going to add it slow because we don't want any lumps. Add a little bit and stir. Keep on adding it and stirring. And stir those lumps down. Let that thicken up. We're going to add some more milk to it, but we don't want to add it all at once. We want to make sure it's thick, but not too thick. See, right now I still got a lot of lumps in there. As that thickens up, those lumps will become less noticeable and easier to stir in. I'm using my favorite little wooden spatula to do this. I love this thing. Okay, there we go. Now they're starting to get really good and incorporated. We're going to have to add a little more milk here in just a minute. Keep on going. Keep on going. Alright. And that should be enough right there. Just a little more. Here we go. So we have probably got between 1.5 cups and 2 cups of milk in there now. And we're just going to let it thicken up just a little bit more before we add our cheese. We're going to add 1 cup of cheese. And stir that in there really good. Let it get good and melted. And I'm going to go get our noodles. This is the noodles that we cooked earlier and they drained. Oops, and I just threw a couple of them in the floor. Alright. And very last, I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off. The very last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of sour cream. And stir, stir, stir some more. And now I'm just going to leave this sitting here while I go prepare my pan for the oven. I'm going to just spray it with some nonstick spray. And then I'm going to heat my oven up to 400 degrees. I'm going to leave it in there for about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to check it and see what it looks like. But that is already looking pretty yum. Alright, we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, there it is. It is getting ready to go into the oven. And the heat from the cheese sauce is quickly melting the cheese that I put on top. I put about 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup on top because that's what I had. And normally I would load it up with a little more cheese, but I was running low. So, into the oven it goes. And I'll see you in 20 minutes when I check it at that point, and we'll see you when it comes out of the oven. Okay, let's see. Can you see that in there? It's looking pretty good. It's been right at 20 minutes now. And I'm going to go ahead and just turn that oven off and let it sit in there and soak up the rest of the heat. And we'll see you when I plate it up. It is, folks. I've already got my sandwich made and ready. My barbecue sandwich with slaw. And let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's maybe just not quite thick enough. Might should have let it set up for just another minute. But I promise you, it's still going to be good. Alright, well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on CRRV.